The entire global financial system is currently resting on the shoulders of a guy named Gary who lives in a suburb of Ohio and hasn't had a full night's sleep since 2014. We don't think about Gary often. We think about the apps, the websites, and the seamless digital interfaces that define our lives. But under the hood, the digital world is held together by open source software. Trillions of lines of code maintained by volunteers who are, quite frankly, hitting a wall. Recently, a developer named Peter decided to see what happened if we stopped asking Gary to do everything. He turned a community called OpenClaw into something called a self-evolving architecture. It sounds like science fiction, but the numbers are uncomfortably real. In a matter of days, a single AI-driven skill called ClawSweeper handled roughly 5,000 issues. To put that in perspective, a standard high-traffic repository might see that many tickets over the course of 3 or 4 years. This wasn't just a bot closing tickets with a fixed label. It was a fundamental restructuring of how software lives and breathes. We've spent decades perfecting a model of software development that relies on human stamina. But we've finally reached the point where the speed of AI development is outstripping our biological ability to keep up. And that raises a question we aren't quite ready to answer. What happens to the human in human-made software when the humans are no longer the ones doing the making? The old way of doing things, what we might call the artisanal period of open source, depended on a very specific, very fragile loop. A user finds a bug, they open a thread, and then a maintainer, who is likely already exhausted, has to read that thread, triage it, debate the merits of a fix, and eventually write a patch. It's a process that happens one thread at a time. It's slow, it's prone to error, and it's inherently unscalable. When Peter introduced ClawSweeper to the OpenClaw repository, he didn't just add a better search tool. He described it as processing the repository's immune system. This is a fascinating way to look at code. In a biological sense, an immune system doesn't wait for a doctor to tell it what to do. It identifies a pathogen, mobilizes a response, and clears the infection automatically. ClawSweeper treats bugs, outdated libraries, and technical debt as pathogens. This shift from reactive maintenance to proactive immunity changes the fundamental nature of a code repository. Instead of a static library that needs constant dusting, it becomes a living organism. But for an organism to survive, it needs more than just a reflex. It needs a way to process information at a scale that would paralyze a human brain. We've all seen AI that can write a decent poem or summarize a long meeting. But ClawSweeper isn't a single brain trying to solve a puzzle. The OpenClaw model uses what they call an industrial loop. It deploys 50 Codex agents, essentially 50 specialized AI reviewers, all working in parallel. Think about the math of that for a second. If you have 50 experienced developers all reviewing a single problem simultaneously, you'd have a logistical nightmare of conflicting opinions. But AI agents don't have egos. They don't get tired. They don't have off days because they didn't get their coffee. They review evidence, cross-reference it with the existing codebase, and propose directions with a level of cold, clinical efficiency that we've never seen in software development. This is what Peter meant when he described the loop as becoming industrial. We are moving away from crafting software and toward processing software. In this system, users aren't just opening tickets, they're creating signals. A signal is a data point that an agent can act upon. The agents process the backlog, the Codex swarm reviews the evidence, and the software essentially fixes itself. But while this solves the mechanical problem of the 5,000 issue backlog, it creates a much larger structural question about authority. If the AI is doing the heavy lifting, what exactly is the human's job description? In the traditional model, the maintainer is the doer. They are in the trenches, typing the characters, making the logic happen. In the OpenClaw reality, that role has been deprecated. The human has been promoted, or perhaps sidelined, to the role of idea generator and final reviewer. It's a transition from being the engine to being the steering wheel. On the surface, this sounds like a win. Who wouldn't want to skip the cleaning tickets phase and jump straight to the big picture strategy?
Who?
But there's a nuance here that's easy to overlook. When you stop doing the manual labor, you often lose the fingerprint of the creator. The software becomes more reliable, yes, but it also becomes more homogenized. In Peter's experiment, he submitted 2 issues himself. In the old world, he might have waited weeks for a response, let alone a fix. With ClawSweeper, they were handled in a few hours. The efficiency is undeniable. But as the real power moves to these self-improving maintenance systems, we have to ask ourselves, are we still the architects, or are we just the ones signing the building permits? There is a hidden risk in any system that evolves faster than we can understand it. We've seen this in high-frequency trading, where algorithms interact in ways that humans can't predict, leading to flash crashes. When we apply that same logic to the immune system of our software, we're playing a high-stakes game. If ClawSweeper makes a change to a repository that fixes 5,000 bugs but introduces one catastrophic, deeply hidden vulnerability, would the 50 Codex agents catch it? Or would they all share the same blind spot because they were trained on the same data? This is the paradox of AI-governed open source. The more we rely on these systems to handle the noise, the less practiced we become at spotting the signal of a real disaster. The OpenClaw model depends on humans approving direction, but as the volume of AI-generated work grows, the human's ability to provide meaningful oversight begins to diminish. You can't truly review 5,000 fixes in a weekend. You can only trust the system that produced them, and trust, in the world of cybersecurity and open source software, is a very dangerous commodity. We are witnessing the industrialization of the last bastion of manual intellectual labor. For a long time, we thought coding was different. We thought it required a level of human intuition and creative problem solving that machines couldn't replicate. But the ClawSweeper experiment suggests that 90% of what a maintainer does isn't creative, it's janitorial. It's cleaning up after others, fixing typos, and checking for compatibility. By automating the janitorial work, we are forcing a confrontation with the remaining 10%. If we aren't the ones fixing the bugs, we have to be the ones coming up with the next big idea. But ideas don't exist in a vacuum. They often come from the struggle of fixing those very bugs, from the intimate, frustrating knowledge of why a system is breaking. When we move to a self-evolving architecture, we are essentially saying that the experience of coding is less important than the output of the code. It's a pragmatic trade-off. It's the only way to survive AI speed development. But as we move toward this point where AI starts governing open source at scale, we need to be very clear about what we're losing in the process. We started this conversation by thinking about Gary, the exhausted maintainer holding up the world. Tools like ClawSweeper are, in many ways, an act of mercy for the Garys of the world. They promise a future where software doesn't rot, where developers don't burn out, and where the immune system of our digital infrastructure is as robust as our own. But as the power shifts to these self-improving systems, we have to recognize that we're entering a new era of digital governance. We aren't just using AI to write code anymore. We're using AI to manage the very communities that create that code. It's a world where the loop is industrial, the speed is superhuman, and the human is the final, increasingly breathless reviewer. The reality is that we can't go back. The old open source model was never built for the volume of the 21st century. It was a hobby that became a foundation, and that foundation was cracking. ClawSweeper is a glimpse at the reinforcement. It's faster, it's stronger, and it's arguably smarter. But as we hand over the keys to the repository, we should remember that a system that can fix itself can also change itself in ways we didn't intend. We've moved the real power to the machine. Now, the only thing left for us to do is make sure we're still the ones deciding where the machine is going. If this changed how you look at the hidden architecture of the internet and the emerging role of AI in governance, you might find our other work on the evolution of technology interesting. Thanks for watching.